The Zarth Dominion had conquered 100 worlds before they ever met humanity. They had crushed civilizations, enslaved species, and rewritten entire cultures under a banner of order. So when Earth was discovered, most of the galaxy pitted the humans, a small, volatile Deathworld species with too many wars and too little unity. The Dominion expected another easy conquest. They were wrong. They didn't meet soldiers. They met monsters in uniform. The first mistake. It began on Outpost Delta 12, a frontier colony orbiting a dying red sun. The Zarth fleet attacked without warning. 12,000 human settlers vanished in the first strike. The Dominion expected surrender. Instead, the Terran response came within hours. One small ship, no transponders, no insignia. They laughed. Then it dropped from orbit like a meteor, tore through the Dominion cruiser's Aldrith, and vanished before sensors could lock. Only static remained. And a voice. You took civilians. You don't get to negotiate. The kill team. The Dominion Intelligence Division scoured reports for days before realizing what they were dealing with. The ship was part of a special reconnaissance unit, officially listed as missing 2 years prior. Humans called them Ghost Hounds. The rest of the galaxy would come to know them by another name, Deathworld Psychos. Unlike normal soldiers, Ghost Hounds weren't trained to occupy. They were trained to erase. No formation, no mercy, no pattern. They moved like predators, unpredictable, brutal, unstoppable. They don't stop. Dominion Admiral K. Thol reviewed the first combat footage from Delta 12. At first, the recording seemed corrupted. Erratic movement, screaming, flickering lights. Then he realized it wasn't static. It was humans, moving through corridors with terrifying precision. One soldier sprinted into gunfire, took a hit to the shoulder, and kept advancing, laughing through the blood. The Admiral muttered, "Are they mad?" His aide whispered, trembling, "Yes, sir, completely." The humans didn't fight for territory or prisoners. They fought like they were exorcising rage itself. The mind of a Deathworlder. The Zarth tried to understand the psychology of their enemy. They learned that humans came from a planet that killed them daily. Storms, predators, disease, even their own kind. On Earth, survival wasn't guaranteed. It was earned. That meant every human soldier carried the instinct of a predator wrapped inside discipline. When given weapons and orders, those instincts didn't vanish. They evolved. The Battle of Varnis Prime. The Dominion decided to make an example. They deployed 6 armored divisions and orbital support to Varnis Prime, where Ghost Hound operatives were last detected. It was supposed to be overwhelming. Instead, it became a massacre. Human units moved in small groups, never engaging conventionally. They used the environment, lava vents, pressure zones, even Dominion mines, against their enemies. Within 48 hours, communications went silent. By day 3, orbital sensors showed thousands of heat signatures in Dominion bases, none friendly. By day 4, there were no survivors to report what happened. All that remained was a message burned into the rock near the main bunker. You shouldn't have come here. The psychological war. The Dominion tried to adapt. They analyzed human tactics, weapon patterns, and radio chatter. None of it helped. Because humans didn't follow logic, they followed emotion. Anger, loyalty, grief, vengeance. They didn't wait for orders. They acted on instinct and trust. And their unpredictability broke the Dominion's discipline. One commander described it in his last report. "We can't plan against them. They're chaos wearing armor." The prison incident. The Dominion captured one Ghost Hound operative after the Varnis campaign, barely alive. They took him to Karnas Station, a high-security facility orbiting a gas giant. They interrogated him for 6 days. He didn't speak, didn't blink, didn't sleep. On the 7th day, alarms sounded across the station. The human had escaped. Security footage showed him disarming guards barehanded, using their weapons against them, and freeing every prisoner before detonating the command center. The entire orbital station disintegrated in the planet's atmosphere. Investigators later found a single inscription carved into a bulkhead. Ghosts don't get caught. The Dominion breaks. Within months, entire fleets refused to engage human forces. The phrase psycho killers in uniform spread like wildfire across the stars. One Dominion captain reportedly abandoned his ship upon detecting a single human shuttle, saying, "You don't fight nightmares. You survive them." Even the Dominion's propaganda failed. They couldn't convince their troops that humans were weak, not when recordings showed laughing soldiers wading through plasma fire, dragging wounded comrades to safety, and then charging again. Earth's response. When asked to confirm the Ghost Hound operations, the Terran Command issued a single statement. "We don't confirm deployments. We only confirm results." That message alone was enough to terrify half the sector. Alien diplomats demanded to know if Earth condoned such brutality. The Terran ambassador simply replied, "We sent soldiers trained for Deathworld conditions. You attacked their families. What did you expect?" The aftermath. The war ended not with surrender, but with silence. The Dominion fleets retreated to their coal worlds. The Ghost Hounds vanished, but the galaxy didn't forget. New worlds whispered to humans, Deathworlders whose soldiers fought like beasts and smiled through blood. Entire academies began teaching human warfare studies. And in every shadow of every war council, someone eventually said, "If Earth sends an army, you still have a chance. If they send ghosts, run." The final encounter. Years later, Admiral Caethol, retired, disgraced, haunted, was interviewed about the war. He stared into the camera, eyes hollow. "You don't fight humans," he said. "You survive them if they let you." The interviewer asked what he meant. He leaned forward. "They don't fight to win. They fight to finish." Then he whispered, almost to himself, "We thought we'd met soldiers. We met madness given purpose." Epilogue. The Ghost Doctrine. The Terran Federation never acknowledged the Ghost Hound program, but a phrase began circulating among human officers. Order is for peace. Chaos is for war. And whenever a Deathworld flag was raised on a battlefield, alien generals remembered Varnus Prime, Delta 12, and the screams are echoed through the void. Because everyone knew, Earth didn't send generals. They sent chaos wearing helmets, carrying vengeance in their hearts. And wherever they walked, order died.